Welcome, good afternoon. Excuse me for smoking in your face. Okay, this is the way it begins. Everything is tic-tac-toe. I found a way to implement and put everything in. One of the ways is to remember the opposites. You remember the opposites, you remember the in-between. You stay in between, you turn, and then you go opposite again. The connecting lines of the I. Can you imagine the letter I inside an egg? Okay? If the eye was in the egg on the soft part, it would actually be what? Because the egg, don't you know the plastic man that bounces down and goes back up? Well, that's the egg. Okay, that's God's spirit. So, let me think again. Well, I can't believe I lost myself. Well, I'm not redoing this tape. I know it was the egg. Is God's Spirit. Oh, yes. Okay, thank you. Okay, so what it is the letter H creates itself in there. I'm going to try and find a blank page or not. I'm going to draw the egg and the H and the I. When you draw the egg, the H, and the I, that's the sign really of the Montreal Canadiens. Okay? Because you do know, normally when the tip opens up, okay, of a triangle, it opens up at the point. Okay, so if that opens up at the point, it shows Canadian hockey, if you want to hold it this way. I can design it for you. I guarantee you I can design it for you. It's Canadian hockey. It's creation of the heavens. The red, white, and blue on a team with the shorts of man. He's got his pants rolled up. Man is ready to fight. The red is the courage of the gods. And the blue, that's the Beta Mother that brought light to have these capabilities of doing what we do on this earth. Red, white, and blue. 1, 2, 3, ABC, Michael Jackson. I don't know very much, but whatever I study, I find a focal point. Whenever I find I can tell a story about. And all stories have to connect in a way to the tic-tac-toe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Therefore, they have to connect it in any relationship to any sets of shapes, because tic-tac-toe is square, so it can really make all the shapes. It can even make the circle by turning the core around, okay? If the square turns the core around, okay, it grinds out at the exterior, making that part all round, while everything else is square. So you rounded the corners, okay? So this would be the egg. Okay, where is it? Okay, so the way the egg goes is it stands up like this. Okay, if the egg stands like this in that punching bag, okay, you see the letter I, right? You also see, if we turn it sideways, the heavens, because that's the way the egg breaks on the soft side. So the soft side shows the heavens of the I man inside, and the man comes out. And that's why when you knock an egg this way on a counter, it doesn't crack. It's all because of the I shape that's on the inside that we don't see. But I know it's there because I can design it, and it comes out the tic-tac-toe, your telephone, the old digital, whatever square 3 by 3 with 4 outside lines making 1111, connected 1111, and you have 22, the 22nd letter we call life. W, I'm not getting into to explain that. A little design here. Oh boy. Here, yeah, this one here. That's actually the 3 worlds, okay? What we did is the outside world and the 2 outside worlds, excuse me, okay, are the eyes of man, okay? And his nose, that's the reason for 2 nostrils, because that X is his nose, okay? And then he's got the mind of man connected. You see where all the connections are? It's the lines. It's not what's inside, but it's the lines. But if you look on the outside of the lines, what do you see? Pyramids, letters, they're all lines, they're all connection. Everything is ABC 1, 2, 3, and I don't want to say it, but for everything I do, I know it all. Whatever I do, I know. Whatever I say I can't do, and I never say I can't because I always find something. Did you see this? I know I'm throwing it at you. This is 9.9. Okay, 9.9 is on the tic-tac-toe. That's the most you can go. So that creates the cross. So now there's another element to play in here. which would be 9 numbers dot 9 numbers. So what would the 9 numbers be? The first position would be the ones, the tens, the hundreds, or money. Then you would have the thousands, the 10,000, the 100,000. Then you would have the million, the 10 million, the 100 million. 9.9. 100 million dot 100 million. Minus minus in the center, it's actually nothing. 9 times 9 is the 81 worlds, and it goes straight across. So if the 81 worlds, okay, hold on, I gotta mark this. I just learned this. Goes straight across. That is 1 part square of a dice. Okay, it's just 1 part of a dice. If it goes 81 worlds goes across, then you have 81 worlds by 81 worlds. And then you have the other side of the dice, 81 worlds by 81 worlds. And then you have the other side of the dice, 80 worlds of 81 worlds. Why 80 of 81? Because the beta world, okay, is God's spirit. Okay, so she's 81, but God's world is only 80. And 8 is the number of heaven. I didn't just pick it out like this. I get it from the cards. If you count all the cards in the deck without the 10, you get to the total of 81. Okay, and that they do in Baccarat. The 80 comes from, you have to take out the ace in the deck, and you also at the same time have to take out the 10 because that is both of them, so they don't count. Okay, that's why the 10 stops counting. That's why we stop at 9, because after that the combinations don't work anymore. It all works in combinations. Everything has to be combined and combinated. Everything has to be able to put together and be taken apart with a relation to creation. Otherwise, why would it be there? Are you following me? How many minutes are left on this video? Oh, plenty of time. I don't want to sound shrewd or rude. Okay? I'm just another dude. A dude with a thought. Bipolar mind. Who learns, okay, that the line, that small line that man walks on, the small line, man walked the line, that small line that man walks on, okay, in his mind, because it's so small, 7 grams of spirit was told to me by a friend yesterday, is that you're walking on your mind, okay, the father mind, and the mother mind. So you're walking on 3 minds, but the mother's on one half of you, the father's on the other half of you, you're in between, you learn from your mother and your father, plus you are yourself. You learn. Have you ever seen this creation here? It's letter K. Over your eyes, straight across, and you see the cerns, they show you that you have to go down. You follow the lines, they show you have to go down. All the lines on your forehead, well, just even them out down here. Then bring it down to the point of your nose and to go up to your other eye. You have the triangle. You put the other triangle on top of it, and this describes part of your head. You can do it to your entire body, but then you would need 1, 2, 3. You would need at least 3 triangles to do it. And then while you connect, you make interconnecting triangles in which turn out to be the Magen David. The Magen David, let me tell you one thing about it. About 5, 6 years ago, I tripped out when I saw a snowflake, and I saw inside the snowflake, it was the shape of the spade, the diamond, the heart, and the club. Then I met someone online who had all these tattoos in the right colors, and he called them God's home, because it is God's home. That's how the spirit jack wraps. The queen is in the center, she connects, and the king connects all the sides. King, queen, jack is what creates the cube the way it is. The 3 parts of the cube, 2 squares and the circle of man's life. 2 squares and the circle of man's life. Now I can hope to remember that. A, this is B, A, C. 3 parts. So if it's 3 parts, that would be the 3 part. I keep writing down because I can stop talking to you and I just keep getting new ideas just coming up with these things. Yeah, the Magen David, what I want to say is they're interlocking. They lock within each other. Okay, that's the way they're made. And they change design shapes as the triangles turn amongst each other. Why is it a triangle? Because it's always connected somewhere. It's always connected somewhere. Okay, the Magen David. So if it's not a triangle like this, it's one like this. If it's not one like this, it's one like this. And then you put another one, and take a look at the roundness of my thumb, the way it makes like a palace. Okay, you see that palace spade? Look at that spade inside. I wish I can show you up against paper. That's the spade, man. You got your own house. God made everything. Everything has to follow. I just came up with a few other things. One of the reasons that the Hebrews, they talk about the four-headed shin. I'm going to show you how the four-headed shin comes out in relation to numbers and tic-tac-toe. And I'm going to show it to you, and then I'm going to explain. Here's a four-headed shin. Okay? The reason that shin is four-headed, okay, is because the tic-tac-toe board was slashed across. Okay? And what was left over was this letter. Okay, now, so it's a shape. It means nothing. Let me explain the letter. Okay? On the top line, okay, it shows Father and Mother Spirit. On the bottom left, under the Father, okay, is the child. Okay? That would be number 4. And why is it underneath the Spirit? Because the 4th child carries the father's genes, and the boy takes on the maiden name. So there would be maybe 2 or 3 dots on that four-headed shin. Okay, but if you go all the way down into the corner of hold on a second, of this tic-tac-toe, if you go down to the corner, okay, I'm going to try and explain it to you. What happens is you end up using up position 1, 3, and 7. Which means the beta world has to have part of God in order for creation. Then what happens on the bottom of that slash, which is on the other board where it's split, it says beta and God. Okay, that's 7, 8, and 9 position. Because God is straight across from birth, because he put it into beta, his part of spirit, in order to create the birth. And the 2 opposite corners are also the one Spirit of God connecting to birth. So God, even in his own slanted square, he connects 2 times to that birth. Okay? And that's what your shin is all about. Your shin is all about the beta birth and beta. Okay? It's all about the woman. And the bottom part talks about creation of the heavens. Okay? By God. And that shows you the other side of the triangle. The 2 sides of the triangle. Okay? Manipulation of the triangle. We're at 13 minutes. We talked about the moons. Did we talk about the Freemasons symbol? I may have, but I'm going to show it to you again. You see, that's the Freemason symbol. Now all it's missing on it are the lines. When you put the lines together, you trap space, creating time, and at the same time, you create this. I'm going to try and show you before time runs out. You create this look. It's the Magen David, but with those lines, it's 1111. Now, in those triangles, okay, is trapped space. There's now time meaning to it, and at the same time, of course, everything works out on tic-tac-toe. It creates 2 hourglasses, 10 and 10, 20. You want to see something about this? Let me show you 2011 in this. 2 X's, say 20 in Roman numerals, okay? The 2 V's that make up the center diamond says 10 in Roman numerals, 2010, okay? And now there's 4 numbers in there, 4 single numbers, 2014 or 5775, one way, okay? The Jewish year 5775 is 2014. It says it both in this design. The other way is just to say 2012. 2 X's are 20, 2 V's are 10, and the top line and the bottom line is 1 and 1, says 2012. What you can't do with this Magen David, my time is now up. I thank you very much.